Good day, everyone. So for today's lesson, we will be discussing about the first module of Pathway 3, which will be about folk dances. So before we start, let us go back to the course description of the subject. So Pathway 3 introduces the nature of dance and its fitness benefits. It involves the fundamental techniques that include movement skills. Through skills training, exercise drills, dance participation, and independent or self directed physical activities, fitness levels will be enhanced. In conjunction with this, fitness levels, physical activity participation, and dietary or eating patterns are evaluated to monitor one's progress and achievement of personal fitness and dietary goals. Students can select from a variety of dances, such as Philippine traditional dances, cheer dance, contemporary dance, social dances, street dances, and hip hop. The following are the course intended learning outcomes. Number one is to understand the history, costumes, and skills necessary for patriotism and recreational enjoyment. To appreciate the purpose of good posture and physical efficiency through the Philippine folk dances, execution through dancing. And lastly is to perform the selected folk dances and music indigenous to the different region of the Philippines. And with that, the lesson objectives of our first topic are as follows. So, number one is to discuss concepts of folk dance. Number two is to demonstrate the fundamental positions of hands and feet used in folk dance. And three is to execute the different dance steps used in folk dance. And we will begin the discussion with the first lesson, which is the definition of terms. So in this part of the lesson, pag-uusapan natin yung mga terminologies na possible ninyong ma-encounter when you will be starting to dance. Alam naman natin that hindi po lahat ng tao ay marunong sumayaw, and there are people who are not that well aware of the things that you have to learn or to know in order for you to learn dancing. So in the first lesson, i-define natin yung mga terminologies na mahalaga in order for us to learn dancing efficiently and easily. Una po natin pag-uusapan ang rhythm. So rhythm is defined as the measured motion of flow characterized by basically regular recurrence of elements or features as beats, sounds, or accents. We know that ang sayaw ay ginagamitan ng tugtog. Therefore, it's important that we understand what rhythm is. So on a separate lesson, I will be discussing about the technicality of rhythm, but for this particular lesson, i-explain ko lang sa inyo kung ano yung mababaw na kailangang alam natin pagdating sa rhythm in terms of its connection to dancing. So sabi dito, it features beats, sounds, or accents. These three things makes rhythm important kapag sumasayaw tayo. There are times na nagkakaroon tayo ng problem or parang complication sa pagsasayaw kasi yung mga terms or bagay na technical sa rhythm hindi natin gano'n kakilala. So on a separate lesson, mas pagninilay-nilayin natin yung rhythm and doon mas maiintindihan ninyo kung para saan ba siya. Rhythm is most clearly seen through dance. Rhythm is the art of movement and is natural to every individual. Sabi nga po nila, 'di ba ang sign that a person is living kapag pinanganak siya sa mundong ito is gumagalaw siya with also crying sound. So kahit anong gawin po natin, it will be hard for a person to stay put, to not move, wala siyang gawin na kahit ano sa ilang minuto, ano. So because our own body tends to move, it's natural for us. So with that, we can say na wala tayong rhythm, ano. Meron tayong lahat. The problem lang is hindi lang natin siya nadi-discover pa or maybe hindi lang natin siya nagagamit ng tama in terms of dancing. Rhythm is a term which denotes an aspect of a quality of movement that is sometimes thought of as dance. So, minsan iniisip natin that when we dance, yun na yung rhythm mismo, yun na yung actual na sayaw. But in reality, it's only a part of that. So, mahalaga ang rhythm, yes, and rhythm can actually be learned. Kailangan lang talaga niya ng time and ng practice. When an individual moves in response to a particular rhythm or music, we call the movements as rhythmic movements or rhythms. Structured forms, which start creative rhythmic movements, are sometimes called rhythms. So kung mapapansin po natin kapag tayo po ay sumasayaw, di ba, nagbibilang tayo, gumagawa tayo ng countings in order for us to remember and understand kung paano ba ipe-perform yung isang. And kapag mas naiintindihan natin kung paano siya nagwo-work, paano ba siya ginagamit sa sayaw, mas nagiging madali yung pagpe-perform natin ng sayaw and yung pagtatagni-tagni natin ng mga steps na pinag-aaralan natin. So the second term we will be discussing is dancing. Dancing is defined as the means of expressing one's emotions through movement disciplined by rhythm. It is an art of moving rhythmically and expressively to an accompaniment. So yung mismong act of inputting rhythm together with movements, tinatawag po siyang dancing. So yung dancing mismo, yun na yung process of combining yung rhythm and yung mga steps na sinasayaw po natin or yung mga galaw na ginagawa natin. So nakalagay po dito, moving rhythmically. Rhythmically in sync, in timing with the music that you will be using. And of course, expressively to an accompaniment. There are times that we think na, ay, napaka-OA nung ibang sumasayaw, bakit gano'n yung mukha nila, bakit gano'n sila mag-perform, but it's actually part of the performance. So gano'n po magsayaw, kailangan talaga with emotions and of course kailangan po rhythmical or tama po yung rhythm. So dumako naman tayo sa pangatlong term which is yung dance. Dance refers to movement set to music where there emerges organization, structure, and pattern. It is a composition that implies arrangement of parts into a form. So, sir, ibig niyo po bang sabihin magkaiba po si dance at saka si dancing? Well, in terminology, yes, magkaiba sila. Si dancing kasi, pwede kasing hindi siya tulad ni dance na literal na organized talaga, Si dancing, ito yung mas friendly sa lahat. You just jive into music, you just feel the music itself, you just do steps that you feel are correct, and in according dun sa tugtog. While si dance, eto na yung mas furnished na version, meron siyang organization, may structure na siya, may pattern na siya, papasok na diyan si formation, so diyan na po nabubuo yung tinatawag nating choreography. Yan. Kasi nga yung composition na yun, yung parang parts lang nung steps na meron kayo, mas pinagaganda nyo na siya and mas pinoform nyo na siya. So, ganun po yung pinagkaiba ni dance at ni dancing. So, tandaan lang po natin, dancing is the process itself, while dance is yung mas organized, mas structured and mas may pattern. The word dancing came from an old German word damson, which means to stretch. So essentially, all dancing is made up of stretching and relaxing. At kung papansinin naman po talaga natin, yung mga steps na ginagamit natin, simple lang naman talaga siya. Pag-iisipin mo, may mga steps na mukha lang mahirap or at least nagmukha na lang mahirap kasi it's either magaling yung sumasayaw or ano naman kaya parang napaganda siya or napaayos, may pattern na sinundan. But isipin niyo, from the origin itself na damson, ang ibig sabihin niya lang to stretch. So basically, mag-stretch ka lang, lagyan mo lang siya ng tugtog, dancing na siya or dance. Ano po? So for the second lesson, pag-uusapan naman natin ang phases of the dance program. So for this topic, we will be focusing with the first muna kasi since ito yung mas matatakal natin for the prelim and mas magpo-focus tayo. So we will be talking about folk dance. So folk dance, if you will be defining it, ang folk dance kasi napakatagal na po na ano. Wala pa tayo dito, wala pa ako dito. Ang mga magulang natin wala pa rin dito. Nag-e-exist na yung folk dance. So it's an art na ipinasa na lang from one generation to another. And yung folk dance na nakikita natin ngayon, it's a reflection of the people's beliefs, yung customs nila, yung rituals and occupations nila. We know that folk dance represents something. That's why folk dance is very important and unique uh, in comparison with the other forms of dance. Napakadali kasing sumayaw ngayon ng kahit na ano, pero yung folk dance, for me personally, is the hardest, yet yun yung pinaka-culturally preserved na form ng dance. Kaya talagang kapag nakakita ko ng mga estudyanteng nagpe-perform ng folk dance, nakakataba siya ng puso kasi not all people appreciate, not all people are happy when someone asks them to perform folk dance kasi nga sasabihin ng mga bata, "Ay makaluma naman na po kasi 'yan, parang ang tagal na po." 'Di ba sabi niyo nga sir from generation to generation, but little by little yung mga art forms ng mga tribes before, yung mga culture nila, tradition nila, yun yung pinagmulan ng lahat 'no, sa mga lumang mga tao na nag-exist dito sa atin. So I hope that in this lesson or through this lesson, you will be able to shift your perspective and view it on their perspective. Kasi sobrang halaga ng folk dance sa ating history. So for the primitive people, nagsimula talaga lahat. Kaya konting story time lang tayo. For the primitive people, dance yung pinakamahalaga na part ng kanilang buhay. So, it's among their interest of life. So, bakit sila sumasayaw? Kasi naniniwala po sila that dancing itself brings magic. 'Di ba? Sa atin ngayon, napakahirap paniwalaan ng magic pero before, simpleng pagsasayaw is already a magic to them. Pero pag-iisipin din natin yung concept ng dance kapagka sumasayaw tayo, literally it's a magic kasi 'di ba it's an art. So you experience things that you can't explain when you dance. Kumbaga, parang yun, nasa magic ka. So bakit sila sumasayaw before? Lahat ng events nila sa buhay nila ay ginagamitan po nila ng sayaw. So sumasayaw sila kasi may sineselebrate silang birth, going into manhood or womanhood, marriage nila, and even in death, sumasayaw po sila. Yan. So, minsan sumasayaw din sila para magkaroon sila ng rain kapagka tagtuyot kailangan ng crops nila or kapag halimbawa naman po ay kailangan nila ng sun dahil ilang araw nang umuulan. So, sumasayaw po sila doon. So, technically lahat ng bagay that they do, even to drive out illness, yung mga misfortune and evil spirits, yan, sumasayaw sila para yung good luck pumasok sa buhay nila. So kahit sa mga nila daily lives, yung mga trabaho nila like hunting and fishing, ganun kalaki yung respeto na binibigay nila sa kanilang pagsasayaw. So parang pag-iisipin mo 'di ba sobrang bigat pala ng importance ng sayaw sa ating primitive people. And it's just really reassuring na hanggang ngayon hindi nawawala yung pagsasayaw sa atin. Yun lang siguro on the part lang na hindi kasi folk dance yung mas sikat, but at least, hindi siya namamatay. So, isa sa mga objective ng mga PE teachers, kaming mga educators, kaming mga nagtuturo ng subject na 'to is for us to reawaken or at least remind you na may folk dance tayo and napakahalaga ng folk dance sa ating mga tao. So I will be showing you some examples of folk dances here in the Philippines and even folk dances with influence from the other countries. So meron po tayong rural and country dances. So ito po yung mga examples. We have Hota, we have Mazurka, and Pandango. So ito pong rural and country dance, hindi lang po ito sa Philippines nag-originate. So ito po ay may foreign influences. So Hota, kung maririnig nyo naman yung word ng Hota, Mazurka, talagang hindi siya originally sa atin. but still we treat it as if it's our own. Ang pandango, pag-iisipin mo, akala natin ang pandango sa ilaw is sa atin lang. But actually, may influence po siya ng ibang bansa. There are many versions of these dances. And kapag sinearch mo yung pandango, madaming lalabas na example, yung hota, ganun din, and even the mazurka. Second example of ethnic dance, of Philippine folk dance, we have ethnic dances. So kanina po pinag-usapan natin yung may foreign na influence. Pagdating naman po sa ethnic dances, nakakatuwa lang kasi ito yung purely sa atin talaga, no? Galing sa mga katutubo natin. So we have dances from the Cordillera region, and isa po sa mga example nun is yung banga, ano. Sa Cordillera, most ng mga sayaw nila ito yung mga may mga nakalagay sa kanilang ulo, ayan. So, yung mga earthen products or pots nilalagay nila sa ulo nila din binabalanse nila yon. Okay? So, we have from the Cagayan Valley regions. So, meron tayong maskota, we have mangapa, patong. So, similar din sa other region. And of course, from Mindanao, isa sa pinakasikat dito sa Mindanao and one of my personal favorite ay ang singkil. So, singkil is from the Maranao. So, it's a royal dance na may mga bamboo poles, parang kamukha ng tinikling. Pero ang focus niya is the royalty. So, meron dong queen, meron dong knight, meron dong servant. Yan, tapos umiikot-ikot sila dun sa bamboo na gumagalaw on the beat of the dance. Meron din pala silang pangalay from Mindanao. Yung pangalay po ay sinasayaw ng mga tausog. Ang focus niya naman is hand movements, no? Intricate hand movement. So, after folk dance, punta naman po tayo sa second phase of the dance program. We have creative rhythms. Creative rhythms are sometimes called as fundamental rhythms or natural dances. So, ito po ay kind of dance na kino-consider as an end product of exploration and improvisation of movements na katulad ng mga bata, we learn as children before, we learn to love the parts of our body and we use them as instrument of expression. So minsan 'di ba may mga beats tayong nagagawa, may mga parang certain taps ng kamay, ng paa tayong nagagawa. So ang tawag po dun ay creative rhythms. Number three phase of the dance program is social and ballroom dance. We know social dance as a dance na ginagamit sa socialization. So ito ay usually ginagamit sa mga events na social like JS Prom, yan, acquaintance. So yun yung mga example ng mga social dances. So these dances features more formal atmosphere than the simple and informal parties na ginagawa or ginagamit sa recreational dances. On the other hand, yung ballroom dance usually ay ginagamit to sa depende pala sa occasion ano, may mga ballroom dance na ini-incorporate din ng social dance sa acquaintance din sa prom. Pero usually sa ballroom dance nakilala natin 'to as a competitive version of dancing ng social dances. So kung alam niyo yung, standard, we have Latin, 'yan. So mga cha-cha, rumba, jive, and many other examples. So isa sa mga sa semester na 'to ay pag-uusapan din naman natin ang social and ballroom dance, and I hope that we are able to cover and ma-experience nyo din yung pagpe-perform nitong mga sayaw na 'to. And fourth, yung nasabi kanina, we have recreational dance. So kung formal si social and ballroom, sa recreational dance naman, ito yung ginagamit sa mga usually sayawang bayan, 'yan. So kung may mga taga-province diyan, alam niyo yung mga dance mixers and sumasayaw sila dun ng square dance, round and couple dances. So kumbaga may certain na step na ginagamit or pattern of movements na ginagamit na ginagawa sa mga informal gatherings like parties, reunions, and the likes of it. And we have creative dance. So creative dance is the highest form of dance. It is the end product of exploration and improvisation of movements as the dancer or choreographer expresses his feelings or emotions, ideas, and interpretation. So this is a dance with a definite form, a beginning, and an ending. Usually, creative dance features stories, and meron siyang, kumbaga, theme na pinapakita. Best example ng creative dance is interpretative dance, jazz, yan, ballet. So, highest form siya ng dance kasi iba yung discipline na meron sa creative dance. Yan. So, yun po yung lesson 2 or the phases of the dance programs. For the third lesson, which is the formations commonly used in rhythmic activities, I will be showing you few examples lang. But on the actual sa ating classes sa face-to-face, and may experience nyo naman kung paano siya gawin at ano-ano yung mga examples niya. So here in the slide, you can see two versions of the formations. We have single circle formations and double circle formations. Wala siyang specific na name per se yung mga formations, but rather a description. So kapag sumasayaw tayo, napakahalaga ng formation. Bakit? Kasi formation is the reason bakit hindi nagiging boring ang isang performance. So kung iisipin ninyo at walang magbabago, walang variation sa formation, napakapangit ng kalalabasan. So gumagawa tayo ng mga variety of uh, formation in order for the audience to at least yung focus nila na shift, ano, hindi lang laging sa sayaw pwesto or nakatingin. So may mga formations din. And here are some of its examples. So meron ditong single circle lang, meron diyang by partner, meron naman yung may magka-face ang partner, side by side sila, and many more. So under the formation, we can also discuss about the values of dancing. Physiological and neuromuscular development of the organic systems of the body, cultural depicts of the culture of people, and social and recreational values of dancing. So alam naman natin that dances not only targets the physical, so even our physiological, even cultural, social, and recreational. So now we can proceed with the types of folk dance. So we have two types of folk dance. We have the national and regional. So for national, ito yung mga traditional dances ng isang bansa, no? Kung ano po yung kilalang sayaw sa ating bansa. And yung regional dances naman, yung mga local na variations or dances in certain localities. So we have the do's or the things that you can do in folk dancing. So ito ay mga suggested na dapat ginagawa in folk dancing. So first, dance is in natural, simple, and direct manner. Number two, dance with ease and smoothness kasi alam naman natin ang folk dance focuses on the body and the movement of the body in a fluid manner. Number three, use the proper costume for the dance. Hindi masyadong applicable ano sa folk dances yung mga costume na basta-basta lang. And kung titingnan natin yung mga dances ng folk dance, hindi talaga siya um, gumagamit ng costume na hindi hindi kumbaga hindi fitted dun sa sayaw or hindi talaga appropriate sa sayaw ano. So nagkakaroon lang ng mga kumbaga ay changes, adjustments depende sa pangangailangan. But in the traditional and performance talaga na folk dance, gumagamit talaga sila ng proper costume for the dance. Fourth, we have to follow directions and dance instructions as closely as possible. And number five is dance with feeling and expression. Yan, doon naman tayo sa don'ts in folk dancing. So number one is do not exaggerate the dance steps. Number two, do not make the dances too dainty and graceful like ballet. Kasi may mga movements sa folk dance na hindi naman ganun ka-strict, but rather fluid talaga. Kasi sa ballet talagang may specific na nire-require, ano, kasi mas technical nga ito. Number three, don't make entrance and exit too long kasi hindi naman yun yung priority sa folk dance. Four, don't make steps too elaborate and complicated. And five, don't call a folk dance unless steps come from traditional dances. Characteristics of folk dance. in general. So dapat dancers are standing apart. So may little, kung may body contact man, little lang. Number three, most of the dances are done by pairs or couples. Kahit may mga sayaw naman na nabubuo na hindi magka-partner, mas lamang pa rin kasi yung by pair. Four, hand movements play an important part. And five, most dances are in long formation. So, depende na lang din po sa sinasayaw ng mga performers. Number six, most dances begin and end with saludo. Saludo is the sign of respect whenever you start a performance. Usually, ito po yung mga bow na napapanood natin sa mga nagsasayaw. No? Bago sila magsimula, nagbabow muna sila sa kanilang mga partner as a sign of respect to their partners. Yan. So number seven, dances from the lowlands have more foreign elements than those found in the uplands. So usually po yung mga nasa taas natin yung mga nakapag-preserve nung cultural na meron tayo. Kaya kapag gusto niyo ng mas traditional, mas to the roots, punta po kayo palagi sa upland. So yung mga mountain ranges po natin, sila po yung mas na nakapag nakapag-preserve ng ating culture and tradition through dance. And number eight, where dances are found among non-Christian tribes. And for lesson four, we have the classification of Philippine dances or folk dances. So, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung iba't ibang examples, specific examples at classification ng mga Philippine dances para at least maintindihan nyo kung kahit na napakarami ng folk dance na alam ninyo, kaya nyo silang i-identify or i-classify. So we have different example of classification. First, we have the general classification. So under general classification, we have the geographical extent of origin. So first, we have national dances. These are the kind of dances that we can find throughout the islands with little or no modification. So usually, mga national dances natin, ito yung nakapreserve yung choreography nila. So, wala masyadong binago. We have Rigodon. Rigodon is a dance na ginagamit sa JS Prom usually. Line dance yan. No, so, parang marching dance. We have Cariñosa, of course. Alam na alam po natin yan. We have Hota, Balitaw, and Pandangos. Number two, we have local dances. So, yung nabanggit po natin kanina, national dances and local dances. So, these are dances that are found in a certain locality. Like Tinikling sa Leyte, Maglalatik sa Binyan, Esperanza sa Nabwa, Subli sa Batangas, and Binigan Bigat sa Abra. So, pangalawa naman po, we have by nature. One, we have occupational dances. So occupational dances are dances that simply depicts labor or work. Dinidisplay nila yung work through dancing. Alam naman natin na napakasikat ng certain occupation sa Philippines. Napaka-common niya. So ginawan po siya ng sayaw. Usually tinatawag po siya occupational dance. So example po nito ay planting, harvesting, pounding, winnowing, pabirik, and mangyete. So, ang example nito, kung alam nyo ang maglalatik, ayan, occupational dance po yan. So, pinapakita po nila kung paano yung mga nyog, ayan, di ba, ginagamit po nila yung sasayaw. Second, we have religious or ceremonial dances. So, this classification performs in connection with religious vows and ceremonies like the examples of Dugsu, Suwakuswa, Putong, Santa Clarang, Pinong-Pino. Number three, we have comic dances or comical dances. These dances depicts funny movements for entertainment. So, hindi naman lahat ng folk dance ay seryosong seryoso. Meron din naman tayong fun version. So, we have the comic dances like the Kimbo Kimbo, Makongo, and Hinoton. Fourth, we have game dances. So ito naman yung mga sayaw with play elements like the lubi-lubi and pavo. Five, wedding dances. Pina-perform naman po ito during wedding feasts. So, usually sa mga provinces kapag may mga wedding, meron silang certain dances na pina-perform. So, wedding dances po ang tawag do'n. So, ang example dito, we have panasahan. 6, courtship dances depicting love-making or depicting the act of courting. So, example po, we have hele-hele, bagok pire, maramyom, datek, and daling-dali. Isa sa common example na alam nyo, ang Karinyosa is actually a courtship dance. So, pinapakita po doon kung paano sinusuyo nung lalaki yung babae sa pagsasayaw. We have 7 festival dances suitable for special occasions or any social gathering. Bawat lugar po natin na kinalakihan, kinagisnan. So meron po tayong sarili nating festival dances. Now, since may kanya-kanya tayong festival, may certain na sayaw po na sinasayaw sa bawat localities, bawat municipalities. So festival dances po ang tawag doon. So example po nito are Pandango, Habanera, Jota, and Surtido. Number 8, we have war dances, which shows imaginary combat or duel like Sagaya and Palu-Palo. The third classification of folk dance under movement are as follows. So we have different kinds of movements sa pagsasayaw and hindi lahat ng folk dance ay pare-pareho ng rate ng speed, ng tipo ng galaw. So ginugrupo din po natin sila according sa kanilang movement. So the first classification under the movement is the active dances. Active dances are folk dances with fast, energetic movements like tinikling, maglalatik, sakuting, and polkabal. So pag pinanood niyo po itong mga dance na minention ko, talagang sobrang bilis nila talaga. And because it's fast, it's actually really challenging na i-perform. Kaya kapag yan yung pina-perform ng mga folk dancer, yung mga audience talagang na-amaze sila kasi hindi nga siya madaling sayawin. Second, we have moderate like Cariñosa, Tagala, Habanera, and Purpuri. So yung mga dances naman na moderate are sakto lang silang sayawin, hindi sobrang bilis. 3, we have slow, syempre, like the Pasakat, Amorosa, Tiliday, and Kundiaman. And meron din po tayong slow and fast like Puritos, Baingles, and Habanera. Last, under the general classification, we have the formation. We have first square or quadrille like Rigodon, Losa Bailes de Ayer. Second is long formation. So yung long formation po yung may two or more parallel na lines like Lulay and Sakuting. Number 3, we have set, consisting of two or more pairs as a unit, partners facing each other or standing side by side like Binadjong, Haplik, and Kakawati. And lastly, so yung mga group dances naman na may distinctive features. So letter A, we have dance with songs like Abaruray, Manang Biday, Lulay, Rohelia, Lawiswis, Kawayan. Letter B, old ballroom dances like polka, mazurka, chotis, and valse. Letter C, dances with implements like maglalatik, sakuting, hotamon kandenya, tinikling, and salakot. And lastly, we have dances of combined rhythm like sortido, pantomina, and los bailes de ayer. So that's it for our first module, again about folk dances. So I hope we learned something at sana po we were able to look back on these kind of dances and tandaan po natin that these dances are important at tayo po dapat yung nagpapatuloy ng legacy na sinimulan na ating mga primitive na people. Okay? So that's it for this lesson. Thank you for watching.